Hello students, welcome back to our channel. So in the previous videos we have studied the fundamental theorem of arithmetic and its application, that how to find out the HCF using fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now today we will proceed with the next topic of this chapter, and that topic is revisiting irrational numbers. So revisiting irrational numbers means we are going to study more about a irrational number which we have already studied in class 9th. So in the class 9th, we have studied the irrational numbers are the numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q. That means we have seen the majority of the numbers which are written under square root of sign. Means the any number which is written inside the square root sign and the number is not a perfect square. That means under root 2, under root 3, under root 5. All these were the irrational numbers. So now this year what we are going to do, we are going to prove that these numbers are irrational. Now in 9th standard we have seen that these numbers have a non-terminating and non-recurring decimal expansion. That's why we call these numbers as a irrational number. Because of this reason we cannot express this number in the form of P by Q. But now with the help of algebra, how we are going to prove these numbers irrational, that we have to study in class 10. So without wasting the time, we'll start with this. So we are going to see the very basic number, that is root 2 is an irrational number. Now we have to prove that root 2 is an irrational number. We know that root 2 is an irrational number, but using algebra this we are going to do this time. So now for proving that root 2 is an irrational number, we are going to follow the method of contradiction. We will follow the method of contradiction. Now what is this method of contradiction? Contradiction method, what we are going to do in this, we are going to assume something in the beginning of the question. That means suppose if I will, in this question we know that root 2 is an irrational number, but we will assume that root 2 is a rational number. Now we have assumed that root 2 is an irrational number. Now by some calculation, by doing some sort of calculations, we will prove that whatever was our assumption, that was wrong. My assumption is root 2 is a rational number, and now by calculation I will prove that my assumption is a wrong. Now my assumption is wrong, that means root 2 is a rational number is a wrong statement. Now if root 2 is a rational number is a wrong statement, then ultimately root 2 will become the irrational number. Because it is not a rational number, then ultimately it falls in the category of irrational numbers. So this is known as a method of contradiction. That means we assume something in the beginning, and by calculation we prove our assumption itself is a wrong assumption. Now let's see how to do this. So now root 2, as we know that it is a irrational number, but I will assume that let root 2 is a rational number. Now root 2 is a rational number, so we know that root 2 is a rational, then I can express this number as a upon b, because any number when it is a rational number it can be expressed in the form of p by q. Now I will do the squaring on both sides. Now once we do the squaring on both the sides, it is going to be root 2 square is equal to a square upon b square. You can, in the beginning you can write it as a upon b whole square. Now see, root 2 square is 2 is equals to a square upon b square. Now I can write it as a square is equals to 2b square, equation 1. Simply I just transferred this b square on this left hand side. Now when we see this statement, see here, what is this statement means? This statement means a square is equals to 2b square. That means b square is some number. When we multiply this b square by 2, we will get the a square, which means that this a square is a multiple of 2. This a square is a multiple of 2. If a square is a multiple of 2, then we can say that 2 is a factor of a square. If a square is a multiple of 2, then we can say that 2 is a factor of a square. Now if 2 is a factor of a square, I can say that 2 is a factor of a. This This we have already studied in the theorem that if p is any prime number, if it divides a square, then it divides a also. So now here 2 is a prime number, 2 is a factor of a square, then 2 is a factor of a also. Now when we say that 2 is a factor of a, that means we are going to divide a by 2 and we are going to get the remainder as 0. So when we apply the Euclid division lemma here, that is a is equals to bq plus r. So now we are going to divide a by 2, we are going to get some quotient and our remainder will be 0. Now how remainder is 0? Because we have told here that 2 is a factor, and whenever any number is a factor of any another number, in that case the remainder is always 0. So a is equals to 2 cube. Now I got the value of a. This value of a we are going to put in equation 1. So now put value in equation 1. Now when you put the value in equation 1, it will become 2q square is equals to 2b square. Now it is 4q square is equals to 2b square. Now we'll just simplify. 2 1s are 2 2s are. So it is 2q square is equals to b square. Now see here, b square is equals to 2q square. Now see, similar to this, we are going to this equation here. Now here b square is equal to 2q square. That means we are getting b square by multiplying q square to 2. That means b square is a multiple of 2. Same here we have written a square is a multiple of 2. Here also we can say that b square is a multiple of 2. That means 2 is a factor of b square. 2 is a factor of b square, then 2 is a factor of b also. See, now understand these two statements very carefully. Now here 2 is a factor of a and here 2 is a factor of b. That means a and b has a common factor 2. Now a is a factor of 2 also, and 2 is a factor of a and 2 is a factor of b. That means a and b, both the number have 2 as a common factor. But when we say that the definition of a rational number, when we write any rational number in the form of a by b, here a and b are co-prime numbers. Now co-prime means the numbers which do not have any common factor. That means their HCF is always 1. So these a and b should not have any common factor, but here by calculation we can see that 2 is a factor of a and 2 is a factor of b. That means we are getting 2 as a common factor. But this should not be the case. That means this contradicts our assumption that a and b are co-prime. This contradicts our assumption. That means whatever our assumption was there, that is wrong. That means we assume that a and b are co-prime, but here by calculation we can see that a and b are not co-prime. Now this, our assumption, why it is contradicting our assumption? Because our assumption that root 2 is a rational number is wrong. Therefore, assumption root 2 is a rational number is wrong. Therefore, root 2 is a irrational number. That means root 2, it is not a root 2 is a rational number we have assumed, but our assumption, we have proved that our assumption is wrong. If root 2 is not a rational number, then ultimately it becomes a irrational number. So you understand these steps very carefully, because whatever number comes to prove whether it is a rational number or irrational number, you have to just replace this 2 by that number. Suppose the question comes, prove that root 3 is an irrational number. Now wherever we have written 2, in that place we will write it as 3. And same way we can prove root 5, root 6, root 7, all the numbers we can easily prove they are irrational numbers. So in the upcoming video, we will come up with the more number of examples of this. Till then, enjoy this video and keep learning and keep working hard. Thank you.